Welcome to another PL Together Lounge Talk. I'm Adam Geller, founder and CEO of Athena, the video coaching platform that helps teachers connect with colleagues and collaborate about what's happening in their classrooms. Today, we're talking with someone who's an expert about what's happening in classrooms, Nita Creekmore. She's an instructional coach in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and she's someone who has more than 25,000 friends in her community talking about classrooms and instructional coaching. That's the Love, Teach, Bless community. And she's also someone who knows a thing or two about connecting because she's married to a counselor. So she's bringing those skills to instructional coaching as well. Nita, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Adam.
Well, I am really interested to talk with you as someone who, has the opportunity not just to day-to-day be in a school thinking about, the teachers you're supporting directly, but also you're part of this bigger community, which offers a bigger perspective. So help us think about being an instructional coach right now. I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty, to borrow from the words you said a few moments ago. How, as an instructional coach, are you kind of bringing together the needs to connect with teachers so that you can support your teachers?
Okay, so some of the things I've been doing is like checking in with them, but mostly listening, like using expansive listening and active listening, because I think more than anything else, teachers don't feel heard. Teachers feel like there's a lot on their plates that they already had a lot on their plates before the pandemic, right? And so it was like expounded like 100 times more. And I think, so with the check-in with teachers, just empowering them and also letting them say, okay, what's on my plate that I can release, right? What's on my plate that is like, I always call it the meat and potato. That's what I tell the teachers, like, what's your meat and potatoes, right? Are there like meat and potatoes on their plate that needs to stay, right? And then what are some ways that we can influence other things to like alter our plates? And so just a lot of expansive listening has been a lot of the coaching that I've been doing, empowering them, being a thought partner. So just really just being someone there that they can collaborate with, think through things, because the thing is that the power is within the teachers. And I think what has happened with the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, let's just be real, they feel disempowered. And so it's like giving them back their power. I'm not there to fix it as their coach, but I'm there to facilitate conversation and to empower them so that they can make change that needs to be made.
Okay, so imagine now I am the school leader. I'm a skeptical school leader. So I'm just a school leader. I'm hearing you talking about doing lots of listening, and I'm thinking, wow, that's great. But tell me about how this ties back to, and then fill in the blank of things that school leaders say that, are anchored in student achievement and goals of the school community. How are those one and the same? How is listening to the teachers more, in some ways, I hope, amplifying the types of support and changes you're seeing as a coach?
So it goes back to here, it all drives back to student achievement, right? So if you have a disempowered teacher, and let's say there's a new curriculum, because let's just be honest, like districts have gotten like millions of dollars from the government now, and now there's like new curriculums left and right. Empowering the teacher is helping the teacher to see the benefits of the curriculum or the strengths of the curriculum and places where they can insert their own knowledge or, dig deeper into other resources and things like that. But you have to start at the heart of the teacher, right? If you have a teacher there that's disempowered, they're coming into work every day disempowered. They're in front of your students and they're disempowered, and they are having all these emotions and feelings that are going to go somewhere. They're there, they're human. And so in seeing the human part of your teachers first and being able to talk them through whatever it is they're going through, if they're feeling disempowered, or they're feeling overwhelmed, if they're feeling any of those things, you have to get to the heart of the teacher so that they can reach your students. Otherwise, it just ends up being a cycle of the same thing, right? And so what we want is our teachers to feel empowered. What we want is our teachers to feel like they can make change. And so those conversations lead to that growth.
What I hear you saying in some ways is um, oftentimes, teachers are feeling like they don't have control, right? You're saying it disempower, but they don't have control.
Mhm.
And if I'm understanding you, you're using this tool of listening actually to kind of create a locus of control for the teacher to be heard, because maybe they can't change that system. Maybe they can't control the new curriculum coming in or whatever speed it's happening, but they can suddenly have this opportunity to control what you are hearing from them about what's on their minds.
Exactly. Exactly. And so what is happening sometimes with teachers is they feel completely out of control, especially now with the pandemic. They feel out of control. They feel like they don't have a voice. They feel like it's just being told to do this, and this. And so having these conversations with teachers helps them to get their power back, right? And know, like, it's so interesting. I had a conversation with a teacher and she was like, this is my classroom. I said, yes, it is, like, because there were some changes that need to be made or whatever. And she said, this is my classroom. I should be able to control my classroom. And so we had a conversation of ways that you can still do that, right? And so she felt so empowered. And it's just, that's the part of the coaching that is like more compassionate coaching, seeing the human in the teacher first, is now you can make the change. Now you can transform because you know that you have the power to do so, right? Which ultimately affects students.
Well, Nita, this is really helpful, giving us insights into the instructional coach experience right now, and also, a reflection of what's happening with teachers. We're going to take a short break. If you're watching this video shared out there as part of Nita's community and you're thinking, what does she share next? Well, head to pltogether.org to listen to the rest of our conversation, as well as many more. Nita, thanks so much for being part of PL Together.
Thanks, Adam.